has kind of been one of the up-and-comers, you could say, and has garnered a lot of recognition across the SC2 scene. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup here to see who will, of course, take this last series of today. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and introduce our players. First, spawning at the bottom left, he's our blue Protoss playing for Alpha X. Give it up for TriGGeR.
And we're going to make this introduction quite quick, because he is currently proxying a barracks on the other side of the map, playing for Storm Gaming. It is MaSa.
And here we go. We're going to start off with a little bit of a bang.
I think it's going to be Reapers, right? Gotta be.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. If it was a little bit closer, maybe it could have been Marauders. But yeah, I think with the distance.
Oh, yeah, actually, it could be Marauders as well. That's a good point. I always forget Marauders exist, really.
Yeah, but I think usually it's closer. So I think it's going to be Reapers.
Okay. I'll look out for that one next time. I learned something today. Right, he's got the Zealot here. You can always jump up. Oh, alright. Alright, MaSa, let's go. Oh, dear. That... yes, he actually got on the other side as well. Oh, okay. It's just going to be a block for now. I thought he was going to try and finish that. Oh, he tries to rebuild it. Okay.
You know what's the smart thing about that is that he blocks the pathway for the Zealot to actually help defend. I mean, even though he's sending across the map either way, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. It kind of blocks the Zealot from retreating.
What's going on the other side of the map as well? Shield battery in the main base, MaSa. What we just opened up into. The barracks is also going to finish up as well. Oh man.
This is the epitome of NA, I would say.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a newcomer here because I play EU and cast EU quite a lot, but this is always really entertaining for me to come see. This looks great. What's going on? All right, let's try and get some sense. 3 shield batteries in the main base of MaSa. We have 2 Reapers in a bunker in the natural of TriGGeR. And 1 Zealot and an Adept trying to make an assault on this main base. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think... I mean, the Widowmine, if it connects, a shield battery's not going to help you. And then it's so depowered on the natural. I mean, stuff like this is just so hard to follow. Like, it's just... I mean, you can't get any more units now, so TriGGeR's in a position where you can build nothing.
Oh boy.
This is it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see TriGGeR actually being able to do much from this position, but...
Depth's really...
Yeah, I don't know. Go for it.
Yeah, I think MaSa has done it. Really, TriGGeR loses his his fortification here at the front lines or in the ramp area. Really nothing he can do to defend it. And then in the back at home, no units can be produced for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, we do see some production builds coming online now, but again, like, Gateway's just now coming up, Subicore is unpowered, like, you don't even have Warp Gate. This is a big issue, because everything's being cleared up back at home for MaSa, right? And even the CC's coming down. This is such a good position for MaSa. Like, I don't see how you can come back from it right now, but, you know, you can't count players out. That was an excellent opener so far.
Yeah, a little bit of a wonky start, but it looks like MaSa does come out on top after all. It's still not over yet, of course, as you mentioned, but it's going to be a hard climb, I would say, especially with Warp Gate not being started. Oh wait, did he remake? Oh, he did remake. Okay, there we go.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, Widowmine's now on the map as well, just gives you map control. And yeah, production on the way, Ravens, Siege Tank, you know. I think we're just going to go into a very normal game shortly. I mean, kind of, anyway.
Normal, in quotation.
Yeah, quote unquote, yeah. Cyber's gonna go down, though.
You know what? If
it's
TriGGeR
already
can
gonna
manage to actually hold the spot, he might not be in the worst position, because, yeah, even though Warp Gate is late, I mean, if he can, doesn't really need it at this point if he can just kind of defend with the shield battery, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's always a turtle position for a process right now, especially one that's pumping out immortals. Could go somewhere, but I mean, we're looking at 2 gates and just a robo at the moment. We don't see any Twilight counts are going down, so over time Stalkers are going to lose value. And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do see production coming up. We do see, you know, Starport producing 3 racks, all that kind of thing. We also see Engineering Bay on its way, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, TriGGeR doesn't really have a lot of tech going, so yeah, I don't, I don't like how. Okay, there you go. He's finally plots down a robotics bay, but of course it's kind of quite late. So
2 Sea Sharks now pushing across, and you got the Raven as well, sharking around trying to find a bit of an angle. Oh man.
Yeah, it's quite tough for to see this for TriGGeR.
Yeah,
it's kind
he's
of
doing a
like
good job to stay
slow
in.
death of some sort, you know?
Yeah, he's done a good job to get to this point. I'll give him that. And Sea Shark's just going to siege up now. Battery overcharge. Oh, interfering the immortal. That's pretty big brain play there. Really nicely done. Yeah, definitely a bit of a slow death.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow death coming here because the tanks are gonna kind of push on forward little by little, and at some point TriGGeR is gonna have to commit or just sacrifice this base, which is not an option because 1 base protons versus 2 base Terran is just not the best situation.
Disruptor's here. Oh. The stim's now online for MaSa. Unfortunately, you only get 1 shot with that disruptor, and then it's kind of dead weight for a little bit longer. So, yes, quite a lot of a bio here that could push in at a moment's notice. All the shield batteries are now down. Looking pretty good for our Terran player right now.
Yeah, the problem for TriGGeR is that he's working off of very little production buildings, so he can't even like warp in a bunch of units. And he has no shield batteries up and running. 1 does get done, but I'm not sure if that's quite enough.
Well, not bad. Force field's going down, but I mean, all the units are being killed here. MaSa takes game number 1 in this best of 3 series. Quite one-sided, actually.
Yeah, after kind of a wonky start, you know, if you're kind of going off of a wonky opening like that, and 1 player does get the edge, it's like, yeah, it's kind of quite difficult to kind of climb back up in those situations, and we kind of saw it there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I absolutely love that bunker going up and just forcing the Zealot onto the other side. Like, as soon as the 2 Reapers went into the main base, I just saw that the Zealot was stuck, and then an Adept had only just started. I was like, man, like, that's a rough position to be in only like 2 minutes into this game or whatever.
Yeah, I did like the decision or the idea for TriGGeR to go for the proxy, or not, yeah, to go for the, you know, those shield batteries across the map, because I think he was thinking like, okay, maybe I can get like some units across and like just kind of take over the main base of MaSa, but unfortunately MaSa was able to defend pretty decently. The most important thing was getting the block off, because the block off prevented the Adepts from going into the main base, and Adept going against SCV is a whole lot different than Adept attacking a supply depot, because they kind of tickle supply depot while they do extra damage against or actually wait, no, the SCVs, are they light units? I forget.
I don't know actually. I don't think they're
Okay,
either.
yeah, I don't think they either. Okay, never mind. But yeah, they could have been killing SCVs instead of tickling supply depots. So, all right. So 1 point for MaSa as we head into game number 2 on Romanticide. Spawning at the top left for potentially the last time, guys. We have our blue Protoss player playing for Alpha X, looking to push it to a game 3. Can he do it? It is TriGGeR.
And down here on the bottom right side of Romanticide, one of my favorite NA players. I don't want to be biased. Playing for some Gaming. He's 1 point away from closing out this series. It is MaSa. A little bit of a fake proxy, I guess.
Yeah, we do see sometimes Terran players faking out, so they kind of force the Protoss to chrono boost out a Zealot, and of course the Zealot will be pretty useless against against the opening of MaSa. But if
I
TriGGeR
find it
can,
interesting. Like I was thinking last game, like having buildings on the natural actually walled himself in, and now he's favoured the gateway on the high ground. Might actually, might not be able to do that again.
yeah, actually I'm not liking this wall off or this building placement by TriGGeR because
Oh, lack of wall off, I guess.
yeah, because usually when you do a wall off like that, is to block off the Reaper or the Hellions from one side, but this one it doesn't quite actually block off anything.
Right, so if you see well, the second base going down now, Cybercore on the way. Very standard stuff. We do see Zealot coming out, but again, the bunker's going to get set up here. We do also have a Reaper on the other side of the map. Going to try and fight the probe out away. I think the bunker's just a bit more of a distraction tool right now, if anything.
Yeah, he's hoping to kind of force TriGGeR to overreact, but looks like TriGGeR is not falling for it.
Wow. All right, well, looking a bit better this game for TriGGeR.
Alright, looks like we're gonna have a little bit of some kiting coming out of MaSa.
Oh, the Reaper Micro is real. Oh. He's gonna lose one though.
As you say that, it's like the cast a curse.
Dear. No, I'm just trying to big him up a little bit, give him a little bit of a motivation, and I wonder if the second one's going to go down as well. It might just, not
just
quite
barely.
close enough.
Just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, right. Lucky Reaper. So we do see the Twilight going down now. We're going to see Blink. So yeah, very much a normal game, I think. I think the last game was more of a deviation away from the norm, and then this game looks like we're going to go settle into a regular PvT.
Yeah.
As far as these players can manage anyway.
Alright, so it's going to be the Blink opening for TriGGeR. We'll probably see him kind of walk his stalkers across the map very soon and try to put on some pressure. In the meantime, MaSa going to go jump right on in here, get some nice good old scouting. Oh, actually it doesn't quite go in far enough to scout exactly what it is. But I think he sees enough stalkers to kind of give him a nice indication that it might be Blink stalker opening.
I think you're right with that. He's only seen 2 gateways, but I think he's probably seen all he needs to right now. He's going to send out the Widow Mine drop, and the thing is about the Widow Mine drop, it's great at doing damage, sure, but actually, even if you get the scout off and that's it, it's still got some good value, so he will get this follow-up, hopefully.
Oh, I'm wondering, is that medevac? Okay, it's not going to quite cross across the depth here. So, oh, actually, it changes direction. Oh.
Ooh, it's seen it.
Oh yeah, he sees it.
Yeah, it's just looking for it. That adept knows what's up. And look, the stalkers are right in position. Nothing's gonna happen. It might even get sniped. Oh, okay,
Oh my
maybe
god,
not.
Blink is about to be done. Can you get it?
No way. Oh, man, that would have been pretty hectic. Let's see if we go down to the low ground though. Oh, I thought he was gonna volley onto the medevac then. Both Widowmines do go down, but I mean, let's have a little take a stock about what's happening. We do have the third CC finished up here for MaSa, which is very good. Like, that's very economic. Gonna give a little bit more punch to that army a bit later on down the line, and we do see the bio upgrades now started up as well.
Yeah, so this is pretty much as traditional PvT as it gets. And really, it's just gonna come down to strategy from here on out.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen a lot of PvT today to know what's normal and to know what's not normal. Oh dear.
Alright, so robotics bay. So I'm gonna assume this is gonna probably be Colossus. There we go. Thermal lance does finish.
Oh. Gotta love a nice early thermal lance. That's awesome. Forge now going for the +1. Nice. Well, I guess we just have to sit back and wait for the players to actually get their tech up and running.
Yeah, I'm wondering why MaSa has yet to move his command center. Maybe he's like anticipating a blink pressure, because he's got his siege tank kind of nicely spread out. He's kind of parking his units on top, but unbeknownst to him, the stalkers are actually back at home, so he can very well just go ahead and start establishing that third base, but he doesn't quite realize it. But of course, we as the caster have the bird's eye view, so yeah, he's just playing a bit safe. Ooh, actually a nice little catch there on the observer.
Yeah, and that kind of thing's really good because then it stops any blink up into the main base and stuff like that. But yeah, MaSa's in a good position to now just expand and get that economy rolling. And yeah, both players are very even at the moment. There's not too much to comment on, I don't think. When we see Charge, we see a few more upgrades on the way for TriGGeR. But yeah, neither are trying to secure a lead or try and push out. I don't even see any timings on the way, really. I mean, we do have +1 nearly finished for MaSa, which may start a push out, but I don't know. It's not looking like he's desperate to get out on the map right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up the income graph. As you can see, a little bit of a bump here for TriGGeR, as MaSa only now placing down his CC, and you can see it now kind of gearing towards the Terran side. But yeah, I actually am pretty surprised at how even the worker supply is, considering that TriGGeR was on that dirt base that dirt base for quite some time compared to MaSa. And so yeah, I would think he would be a bit ahead at this point, but
yeah, I think so too. I do think MaSa's been like the early third CC is going to mean that this is kind of even, I guess. Both players have played quite economic, quite greedy overall, because neither have had huge armies really early on. Like, we're nearly at, I don't know, 9 minutes. We're probably going to start seeing a massive reduction coming out of both of these players, but you know, we're nearly at what, 70 workers either side. Templar Archives is up and running. Like, literally, it's just been a game of macro so far.
yeah, I think finally TriGGeR is ready to push on forward, as he does have a good Protoss ball here. Oh no! MaSa moving out just as the attack commences. Oh,
classic. Boy. It's okay. He's not too far away. He has EMPs as well. Oh man, both sides have quite high tech, like, generally speaking, like, considering this is the first army engagement, like, we've got Ghosts and Colossi and Archons, like, it's pretty mad.
Yeah, this is kind of like the old school PvT, really. Until, of course, that Disruptors come out, and there we have it. The Disruptors are being produced right now. In the meantime, an attempted Widow Mine drop does get thwarted, as the TriGGeR does snipe out that medevac. So nicely done there. However, the big main fight is here at the middle side. Huge EMP on those Archons.
Yeah, but the Protoss army now just pushing back against it. All 3 Colossi still up. I mean, say that. 2 just went down. I guess that's the meat of the army gone. But I mean, there's quite a lot of Protoss here. It could still continue pushing. Yeah, it looks like TriGGeR's going to come on top of this engagement. Oh,
there we have it.
There you have it.
TriGGeR with a great engagement in the middle does force us to a game number 3. What better way to end this?
That was all one engagement. That was, you know, when you like watch like Diamond games, it's usually just there like macro, and then the game's won in like one engagement. That's kind of what it felt like then. It's just there like we just sit, watch the macro, and then the engagement happens, someone wins.
Yeah,
very simple StarCraft.
Sometimes, you know, PvT does play out that way, right? Just one huge engagement to decide who wins the game. So sometimes, you know, it can be frustrating, but sometimes it could be fulfilling and satisfying. So I guess it's all due to perspective.
It's interesting why MaSa decided to push out at that point, though, right? Maybe he felt like he had to make a play, having a Protoss on 4 bases and stuff like that. You know, having all of your tech online, like with Ghosts and pretty much maxing out. I mean, you're a Terran, you gotta push.
All right, guys. This is going to be the last game of today. We thank you all for hanging out with us. But this is it. This is the last game to determine who will win this last series of today's groups. Anyhow, spawning at the bottom left, we have our Alpha X player, the blue Protoss, TriGGeR.
And down here on the bottom right side of the map, playing for Storm Gaming. Can he close this out? Well, not if he pushes at a really strange timing. I don't think it will happen again. I think he might have learned his lesson. It's MaSa. And yeah, I'd like to say thank you guys for joining. It's great to have you here. And if anyone's from EU checking in now, thanks for staying up late at night to see how DreamHack NA is going.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty late where they are right now. I believe it's like maybe 1:30 or so in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. It's getting late for me.
Alright, so a little bit of an interesting opening here by MaSa, going for a fake proxy, of course, but more interestingly, throwing down 2 gas. So it looks like he is gonna actually throw down a transition to a factory behind this instead of going for the CC. Got all 3 SCVs on the gases as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. We're probably going to see the 2 Reaper very similar to the first game. And yeah, we are going to see that factory go down. I like it. I like these kind of builds. Just have a little bit more potency to them, you know, like a little bit more opportunity in the early game to slow down the Protoss and just throw off the build orders.
No bit of a ring around the rosy.
Always good. Yeah, Blackburn, man. Like, Blackburn is such a weird map, especially in, like, PvT, where you can drop over these areas and... Like, we saw a Blackburn game earlier in the PvP, I think, but, yeah, Terrans just make this map so mad. Drop locations just next level and, like, next to those slow zones near the main base. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I really hope that this map does get phased out in the next...
I think most people do. Yeah, I mean, linear maps don't really get a lot of credit. Like, people don't like them as much. Like yeah. I mean, if you think about some of the worst maps in StarCraft history, or the least liked, they're usually the linear maps. Like you think of like Golden War in the last map pool, or the map pool before that, like they never really are great to play on, but you know, they make for interesting games, really creative play styles, so I'm never gonna hate on that.
Well, I do hate those inhibitor zones. Any map with inhibitor zones, I just don't like. Personally, at least. And I think a lot of people also don't like. I think they're okay with the acceleration zones though, but those inhibitor zones just, they can be quite, you know, annoying to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think many of the pro players like these inhibitor zones either. Oh man, I hate getting caught out on them, especially on this map. Reaper does go down though. Stalker's doing a good job at keeping up a little bit of denying vision and all that kind of thing. Cyclone's now pushing across into the natural. Gonna pick off a Stalker by the looks of it. I say that, only barely not going to be able to.
I'm telling you, that caster curse is real.
Yeah, man, it is real. It is. Oh dear. Sometimes you have to have certainty as a caster, though. You know, like you have to be there. Like this is gonna happen.
I like to think of it like in a positive sense that if you haven't experienced caster curse, then you haven't really made it. So.
True. I could do that. That 40-minute game was just the caster curse reinvented itself 50 times in the same game. Oh dear. Alright, so this is going to be a really early push, right? Look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it has to, because MaSa, remember, he opened up with not an economic build, but more of a tech opening kind of build. So he needs to get some, like, at least some decent damage done, because if he doesn't, then TriGGeR is going to have the economic edge going forward, as he did get his Nexus at the normal time.
Yeah, right. I mean, TriGGeR has knowledge about this happening and knows exactly how many tanks are with this push, so you know, not going to be in the dark about this one. Not going to take his third either, because you know, you may as well just wait for the attack to be defended before you do that. Absolute right decision. He's doing a good job at slowing it down so far.
Looks like TriGGeR biding his time, waiting for that Dark Shrine to finish. And of course, sometimes in those huge fights, like Terran player doesn't realize that Dark Templar is in the army.
Yeah, right. This is so scary though. The bunker even finishes as well. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very similar to that last PvT we were watching, where the Protoss might just pounce at exactly the right moment. This is a really scary push so far though. Oh, well, the DT gets cleared up there, but it's only one of them.
Oh, almost got that DT as well. Does he has more scans? Okay, he's trying to build up a turret. He just needs to buy enough time for the turret to go up. And oh, that bunker does actually get sniped down, but the Immortal goes down as well.
Yeah, that's critical damage there. The Immortal is so important. A massive volley onto the Stalkers. MaSa might be doing this. Just an excellent job at pushing this with just a few units with the opener, now just rallying behind it.
The DT in the back trying to snipe away at those reinforcements, but he's got to make sure he has enough units here to defend this kind of between base between the natural and the third. If this third gets sniped down, then it's going to be kind of pull a dent in TriGGeR's economy greatly.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much army, there's not much tech, there's not going to be much eco either. And look at all these bunkers getting set up. It's going to take ages to break this. Like, no matter what you do, if you're still on gateway tech, you're not going to get past this. This is such an entrenched position for MaSa.
Yeah, I mean, so many bunkers. I can't believe TriGGeR actually let him get them up in the first place. So
yeah, right. Well, if you only got Stalkers, it's hard, I guess. But man, this is insane.
All right, here we go. TriGGeR's last stand. These Immortals are gonna go ahead and evaporate. Still a lot of tanks in the back. Bunkers goes down, but still so much on the ground for MaSa.
Yeah. I mean, it's a trade. I don't think it's a good one. I mean, there's not enough eco or production really going on here. Yeah, I feel like TriGGeR's on his last legs right now.
Yeah, it seems like MaSa's gaining more and more steam. More bunkers being thrown down up as well.
Zarkon's doing quite a good job at, you know, being healed up by the shield battery and tanking quite a lot of this fire, but, oh man. I think that might be it.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if more bunkers being thrown down as I say that.
Replace the bunkers. Just put one in the natural, come on. Oh man.
Oh, and even this robotics facility getting shot down as well. So no more Immortals, no more War Prism or anything. He's gonna have to be warping off of his gateways, but he doesn't even have enough, not a lot of resources to warp in enough to break out of this contain. And this contain is getting harder and harder to break out of by the second.
Absolutely. Now with this wave of bio, now being able to push up with it. I mean, 3 Archon's not bad. We've got another shield battery overcharge, but yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it's really entrenched position. It's honestly so hard to push this. No matter how hard you try. And even like MaSa's on 3 bases now as well, so even if he did break out, he's still a base behind.
Yeah, he's behind 71 workers to 45, so even if he had a dirt base, he doesn't have enough probes to saturate it.
Oh, he's sticking it out. Good on him. I quite like players that try to find an opportunity.
Yep, so at this point, MaSa's just kind of playing with his food a little bit. I'm sure he knows that he's pretty much got this.
I just can't believe that the main base is pretty much mining out. You've only got like 8 workers on either that can mine efficiently at the moment.
All right, even the probes are being pulled as is the last stand, but it's just not nearly enough. MaSa, he is going to take it 2-1 in this best of 3 series.